king of the road.
Once again, we're looking in the rear view at the recent YMBL Shootout Bullride at Beaumont's Ford Arena. As in years past, 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay was on hand to help out with the announcing. And, of course, we've had him on the King of the Road show before. Here he is, the man, 8-time world champion Don Gay. Welcome back to Beaumont, man.
Well, thank you, Jim. You know, I like the King of the Road hat. That's one thing I never had was a crown. You know, they just wouldn't give me one. Because I'd have probably wore it, too.
You won 8 of them. You didn't need one. Everybody knew you were the king of the ring, that's for sure.
Well, everything went real well. I had a great opportunity. And, you know, so far, what do you think about the bull riding here?
I think it's fantastic.
Outstanding. The bulls are bucking. Cowboys are riding good. Can't be a whole lot better than that.
Anyway, back to the live entertainment with Robert Earl Keane.
Standing out on Main Street across the Mr. Blues, my faded leather jacket, my weathered brogan shoes. A chill north wind was blowing, the spring was coming on. As I wondered to myself, just how long I had been gone. So I strolled across on Main Street, walked down a flight of stairs, stepped into the hall and saw all my friends there. A neon sign was flashing, welcome, come on in. Feels so good, feeling good again.
It's Robert Earl Keane. You went to Texas A&M, huh?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
that's all right.
I went to
a roughneck ordering 4 beers.
I think we went. You were probably a few years before me, but I remember hearing a lot about you and Lyle Lovett in those days, and you guys actually were neighbors there in
we sure were.
College Station.
I've known Lyle since 1976.
Before any of us knew who he was.
Yeah. You know, but he was always incredibly talented guy. You know, I mean, I guess one reason we hooked up is because of the music. You know, and we had you know, some similar interests and things like that. But he was a lot further ahead of me as far as like really sitting down and writing songs. I'd written some songs, but he had some full-blown, you know, tapes and stuff he made himself. I was just astounded, you know. And a great singer.
So you guys used to play on the porch. In fact, you wrote a song called The Porch Song, and I wish I would have paid admission to be on that porch.
Yeah. We had some good times there, you know. I mean, by and large, they weren't as wild as some people think they were. They were just fun, you know.
Was there always a little beer involved with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, but it wasn't crazy. I mean, there's a few crazy things, but it wasn't completely out of control. It was, you know, we were just having a good time. This house was like, you know, it was really funky and sort of broken down, and my rent was virtually nothing, so we lived off virtually nothing. I was there for 3 years before I ever got a phone, and the last day I was there, there had been this air conditioner that was sitting above my bed in my room, and we never even thought to plug it in because it was so busted up looking and stuff. Last day I was there, an old man came by and said, you know, I used to live in this house. This is an old house. I said, yeah, I used to live in this house. Of course, we didn't have air conditioning back then, and I just decided not to even talk to him about that. So I let him walk through, and he walked off. I thought, you know what? I never checked out the air conditioning. So I got a 2x4 and went over there, and I propped that air conditioner up. I went back around to my room, and I plugged it in. Boom! It just hummed. It blew out cold as air. It's just like a refrigerator.
And did you suffer before then? Or?
It was hot as hell at that house. I mean, there was no wind a lot of times there in the Brazos Valley, right? I couldn't believe I spent all my time there at College Station, no AC, and I had it right there above my head. So there's the true Aggie joke right there.
Well, was College Station a kind of a hotbed for Texas country? Or Texas country really wasn't even a genre in that day, was it?
No, not really.
That's something that
that was, you know, there's kind of a spin-off from you know, what was happening in Austin in the early and mid '70s. You know, the whole Willie Nelson and Greasy Wheels and Frida and the Fire Dogs and all these crazy bands that were running around. I mean, you know, in the end, it's like Gary P. and Jerry Jeff and Willie were about the only ones that kind of made it out of the melee, but it was big at that time. And then when I moved to Austin in the early 80s, it was a whole blues scene. It was all about Stevie Ray. And
it was a great town then, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic town, but it was all about blues.
Yeah.
You couldn't find a country band.
I remember that. It was like the Texas rock sound was really big. And there was one band I really liked back then called the Skunks. Remember the Skunks?
Yeah, great band.
They broke up, but they were like one of my favorite. They were kind of a punk rock band.
Right.
I lived there, too, there in the early 80s, and it was a great town. I left in 83, and then it just got huge.